Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. So let's jump right into things today, because we are looking at one of the most intensely personal, just absolutely aching, and structurally brilliant poems ever written in the English language. I'm talking about John Keats's 14-line masterpiece, Bright Star. We're going to break down the incredible literary paradox behind this poem. As you'll see, it's all about how a dying man managed to take the vast, terrifying scale of the entire universe and literally shrink it down to the micro level of a single human heartbeat. To really wrap our heads around this, I want to ask you a question right off the bat. Would you trade love for immortality? Now, I know it sounds like a late-night philosophical thought experiment, but for John Keats, this wasn't a game. It was an impossible, agonizing choice. He was forced to choose between the cold, unfeeling eternity of the cosmos and the warm, passionate, but, ultimately doomed reality of human mortality. It's the choice that completely defines his legacy, and it's exactly what we're unpacking today. Section 1. The Man Out of Time. Okay, to truly grasp the emotional weight of Bright Star, we have to understand where Keats was coming from. He wasn't just some guy daydreaming about mortality in a cozy study. He was intimately, physically acquainted with death. His life was incredibly brief. He died at just 25 years old. Both of his parents died when he was young, and later on, he personally nursed his own brother Tom through the horrific final stages of tuberculosis. And here's a detail you might not know. Before he dedicated himself to poetry, Keats actually trained as a surgeon and an apothecary. So in 1820, when he started coughing up blood himself, he knew with absolute, terrifying clinical certainty exactly what it meant. The clock was ticking, and his time was rapidly running out. Compounding this physical tragedy was a really profound emotional one. Keats had fallen desperately, head over heels in love with his neighbor Fanny Braun. But because he was a struggling poet with failing health and zero steady income, formal marriage was just financially impossible for them. Their passion was entirely blocked. Imagine the pressure cooker he was in, right? A brilliant mind trapped in a failing body, unable to be with the woman he loved. It's believed he first drafted Bright Star during this intensely creative, stressful period in 1819, and he literally wrote it on a blank page inside a volume of Shakespeare, right next to the poem A Lover's Complaint. He later revised it in 1820, while on a desperate, fatal voyage to Italy, knowing full well he was leaving his beloved Fanny forever. Section 2. Deconstructing the Sonnet. So how does a genius actually channel that kind of existential dread and passionate longing onto a page? Well, it's all about the literary paradox that structures the entire poem. It's like a giant cosmic scale. On one side, you have the star. It's cold, eternal, isolated, and completely immune to time or disease. But on the other side, you have the human experience. It's warm, mortal, connected, and deeply passionate. Keats uses this contrast to pit the vast, unfeeling permanence of the cosmos against the fragile, fleeting vulnerability of the human body. The poem kicks off with this sudden, passionate invocation. He writes, "Bright star, would I were steadfast as thou art." He's addressing the star directly here. A dying Keats desperately wishes he had its unmoving, unchanging permanence. He is staring down his own mortality, looking up at the heavens and pleading for an escape from the relentless ticking of time and the decay of his own flesh. But wait, almost immediately, he stops himself. Notice the very next line. "Not in lone splendor hung aloft the night." Keats quickly qualifies his wish. He wants the star's stability, sure, but actually, scratch that. He emphatically refuses its actual physical condition. He realizes that hanging up there all alone in the dark sky is a form of terrifying isolation. To really hammer this realization home, Keats compares the star to an eremite. Now, an eremite is a solitary religious hermit, keeping a continuous vigil. Keats has this brilliant realization that the star's eternal life, it's actually a curse. It's a form of solitary confinement. To live forever without ever being touched, without ever experiencing human warmth. To Keats, that's not some divine prize, it's a kind of living death. Then he sort of pans the camera down and imagines what this lonely star actually gets to look at. It watches the ocean performing a priest-like task of pure ablution, and the snow gently covering the mountains. And yeah, these images are incredibly beautiful, active, and cyclical, but they carry the exact same tragic flaw as the star itself. Despite all their dynamic movement, the ocean and the snow still cannot feel. They can't reciprocate passion. And this builds to the poem's dramatic pivot. It's marked by just a single, incredibly powerful word: no. Keats explicitly rejects the cold, cosmic perfection of the heavens. He still wants to be steadfast. He still wants to be unchangeable.
but he decides he wants that permanence translated entirely out of the sky and brought down into the human world. This right here is where he completely redefines true permanence. He anchors his desire for eternity entirely to the vulnerable, breathing reality of human touch. He imagines resting his head forever against his beloved Fanny Braun's ripening breast, just experiencing the physical rhythm of her breathing in what he beautifully calls a sweet unrest. It's incredible. He takes the massive, incomprehensible scale of the universe and shrinks it all the way down to the intimate warmth of the person he loves. Which brings us to the final, breathtaking ultimatum of the poem, and so live ever, or else swoon to death. Staring down his own fatal illness, Keats decides that being locked in a perfect, eternal moment of love is his ultimate dream. But if that's impossible, if he can't have that, he would rather just die. He would rather swoon to death at the absolute peak of passionate love than endure an eternity of feeling absolutely nothing at all as some lonely star. It's just a total triumph over mortality. Section 3. The mechanics of emotion. So, structurally, how did Keats manage to contain this wild, terrifying emotion without the poem just falling apart? What's fascinating is the irony of the structure he chose. The poem is written as a traditional 14-line Shakespearean sonnet. It uses very steady iambic pentameter and a super strict rhyme scheme. Think about it. The poem is dealing with these chaotic, overwhelming stakes: death, desire, sheer existential fear. But this strict, rigid container of the sonnet actually mirrors the unyielding, steadfast permanence of the star he first envies. The tight form literally holds his frantic emotions in place. Keats pulls this off using a very specific literary toolbox. He uses a simile to turn the star into a lonely hermit. He uses personification to give the star eyes and the ocean a priest's task, which makes the whole universe feel watchful and alive. He uses paradoxes, like that phrase sweet unrest, to perfectly capture how love is simultaneously blissful and agonizing. But perhaps most brilliantly of all in those final lines, he uses sibilance, the repetition of soft S sounds. When you say it out loud, it actually mimics the quiet, rhythmic sound of human breathing, pulling us physically right into that final, intimate bedroom scene. To really appreciate what a game changer this was, we have to frame this explainer within the broader Romantic rebellion. The generation right before Keats, the Enlightenment thinkers, they viewed the universe as this rational, scientific clockwork, very orderly. But the Romantics, like Keats, they rebelled hard against that. They elevated the individual human soul and subjective emotion way above detached reason. To an Enlightenment scientist, a star is just a ball of burning gas. But to Keats, it's a symbol of cold isolation, proving once and for all that the beating, feeling human heart is vastly superior to a detached, mechanistic universe. Section 4, the ultimate ultimatum. Bringing this all directly into our modern reality, the real tragedy here is that Keats never actually got to live out his wish. He died in Rome at just 25 years old, separated from the women he loved by an entire ocean. But his choice to reject cosmic perfection and fully embrace fragile, breathing mortality, it resulted in an absolute masterpiece. In these 14 lines, he did exactly what the star could never do. He immortalized a single fleeting moment of human warmth, and he made it last far, far beyond his own tragic death. So, I want to leave you with one final, provocative thought to chew on. Does true beauty only exist because it ends? Keats' Bright Star really challenges us to reconsider the true value of our own vulnerability and transience. Something can only truly ripen if it is moving toward an end, right? It's a powerful reminder that a short life lived at full intensity is worth far more than an eternity of feeling nothing at all. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, keep looking for the beauty in those fleeting moments.